Hey, I am the Technological King. What up? My name's Waco Howard. Hanging out with my buddy Zach. We're gonna play some music. If you ever request or you enjoy it, great. If not, turn it. Hello up. Yeah, boy. All right. So, I guess the whole thing of this is to play whatever, feel whatever you feel, and have fun.
Okay, if I ask you, I might have to ask you for help though.
Okay, yeah. Shout it out, whatever.
Okay, if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
It's good.
Like,
Different grooves have different things on them, so
okay.
My idea is how do we stay concentrated on watching each other, stay within the groove of the idea of it. So if we're doing like something
what
in
does this mean?
7 notes to a scale diatonically,
Okay.
so if you want to go outside of the pocket, let's say we're playing in the key of E major. E major, F sharp minor, right? G sharp minor, A major, B major, C sharp minor, D sharp diminished, and then E again. Knowing that those are the chords that are generally with all the songs, it's much easier to just flow. So if I was to be like Allman Brothers, Melissa, crossroads seem to come and go. It's much easier if we're lost that I just in the beginning say, hey, we're playing in the key of E. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 progression. You don't always have to go to the 4. You can go back to the 2. And the bass almost the whole time does exactly that. You see how you just zoned in? It cuts 20, 30 minutes of doodling off, but really you're just looking at E major, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, yeah, D major, C sharp minor, and diminish, you can do a run, half step, whole steps, like my favorite. D, E, F sharp, A, right above it, just go up a fret. I love these. So like over chorus, they feel and build a lot of tension. I hear a lot of like these minor third things. So if we're starting on D sharp, we can do like this. That could go all the way up. Like you go. I can't do it on guitar, but you on here can't because you don't have the switch of the third.
I see. Yeah, right. I don't have the
Right?
bass.
Yeah. So yeah, you could go what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those are great diminished runs to be like.
I've never.
Yeah, isn't that fun? And if you do hammer-ons, you can do something like. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it. So if you hear me go off the deep end and you hear me do something like. It just, there's an unbelievable amount of tension. Go, oh, diminish run. Try to jump in there. But the goal isn't to try to remember anything that you've learned or think about what you want to do. The idea is to try to be completely present in the moment and flow.
That is all I do every time.
Awesome. Well, that's the whole point of what I want to try to do. Let's throw on a backing track and dink it out.
Okay, I'm gonna put that one first one
Dink.
on. Oh, did my Bluetooth die? No, it did not. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, what key?
1, 2, 3.
E? Cool.
1, 2, 3.
So we got 4. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually 7, 8. It says.
1. Yeah, count on the slow. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got you.
Open up.
Yeah, I understand that.
Woo!
Ah, yes, I did that.
Back at the head. Can you start from the beginning? Verdict?
Yep, you do.
Yeah, I feel like a minor third kind of groove thing too.
1, 2, 4.
Want to try with that A and G?
Yeah.
Feel like open breezy.
I get hard just the time. I get hard time.
So pause really quick. We can fill it out. We can do our own thing.
I've always done, easy time.
I can feel that over the weird tempo. picture. So if I was trying to devise like a functional groove out of this, having that. Hear how I changed the modality?
Yeah.
Just some fun, yeah?
No, yeah. No.
So from the basis, I know that having a drummer hear percussion or just on it, like even if we have a metronome, it was like ding, ding,
Right,
ding,
right.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Just to keep that
I was
center.
gonna put one on, you know.
And the idea from the beginning, just like leave space that first time, do the
Yeah.
why, and then the second time
Nothing,
space.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And you know, being able to layer. So what would I be able to do? Like I would be able to start something and go, can you give me a click? 1, 2, 3, just have
I
some
see
like,
what you're saying. Like you can do the whole thing by yourself almost, yeah.
yeah, maybe. And fills and everybody jumps in. Brecker Brothers, Average White Band. You dig that? Have you heard those?
Is that a band?
Yeah, Average White Boy.
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
sure you've heard it.
I've probably heard some
Uh,
of their music, but
The idea is I'd like to write music that is easy enough for just one we can remember. It's all kind of diatonal. It kind of flows unless there are weird changes, but we'll feel them because we'll play them.
if
But
we,
write space so it's intuitive for other musicians.
I love space. I'm down with space,
Cool.
man.
So if we're like, hey, listen, the whole song is like
know?
da 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 da. There's this one part where it's like up a minor third major, runs into like maybe a diminished, and then does like a da 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 da. We can write anything in any key, in any tempo, in any idea.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the idea is in my little boxes, don't overdo it. Try to keep it simple.
I got
Leave
you.
enough space, and
that's
always
what-
leave the
I'm a
butt
space
shaking.
player. I'm a space player. I like space. I like space.
Yeah.
But if there's, like you said, only two of us, it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
It's hard.
Well, what my goal here is in these when we're doing this is to be more intuitive together, just to like stay in the same thing and like not waste too much time on one concept, beating a dead horse. But all of these collectively, going back on any of these said videos, should lead one to understanding gear more, understanding the way we communicate on and off stage, what we want to hear, our preferences, how you play, like what are your pentatonic runs, what are my pentatonic runs? Do you watch what I'm doing? Do we watch what he's going to be doing? If we add a fourth person on, are they going to be lost? Do we know how to explain it?
Depends.
Will the chart be able to be explain enough? And the idea is not to overcomplicate it, but just like have fun, use musical nuances, you know, and don't take ourselves too seriously.
No, I like space.
I just want to play and have fun.
It'll take me you know, it's funny you say that because the other time we were in here is my friend Kai was playing guitar and Paul's playing drums, but Paul, he knows how to make bass lines. But it's not gonna come, especially the crazy progression. Like
yeah.
I have it written down someplace. It was like 4 3 4 3 1 3 1 3. It was something stupid.
Oh, like doing just in the different keys.
Yeah, like the progression of the chords of the song was like 4 times strumming this, 1 time strumming this. Then I repeated like 3 times, and then it was like 2,
Dong.
2, 2, and then like 1, 3, and then 2. That was crazy. So, but then it's gonna take me a while to make a bass line for each part. You know, I'm not gonna come up with the whole bass line in 10
Central
minutes.
theme.
I'm gonna have to split this progression and make one for that, and
So-
then flow into this, and flow it into that.
Let's just comp on that. That's called a motif. And when you have, let's say, a bar of 4 measures and a bar of 4 measures, so you have 8. The first 4 is like has this thing that's generally drawn over the top, and that means it's an idea or a phrase. Is what it's called.
Right.
So it'll be like, let's just pick the key of G. Oh no.
I heard I think a wire thing. Something wire.
There it is. Anyhow, pick the key of G. If we're talking about the key of G, we'd be talking about moving around 2 chords. So let's pick 2 chords from that. Oh no. There it is. 2 chords from the key of G.
Can we do a CD and then
CD groovy. So if we did like a 4/5 groove, we would eventually want to go back to the 1 because that's the way the major or minor harmonic progression would want us to go. It always generally pulls us back to that 1 chord. So common chord substitution is a great way to move something. Like if we were doing like it's a subtle change, but you could use the C major, C minor, and then it goes right back in here. Groovy?
Yeah.
If that's the central motif of like and we know we're doing this, and we're like, all right. It could be a long drawn out one, but if we all know it's gonna be like that, so you can name them. You can name your motifs, like motif 1,
I got you.
motif 2. So it doesn't have to be the same, and we can groove on
It's
different
kind of
things.
like that. Yeah.
You got it. Except for it's not just 1, 2, 3. It's like case specific to the key. So if we were like, we're playing a 4 and a 5. What happens if we do the same progression, but now we're doing a 6 and a 5? Can you do a D minor? And do an A? problem with going to the E minor and then the D major, throwing a D minor. It doesn't quite resolve back to that G. So working through the chord of G major, you can do an F sharp diminished run there, and F sharp diminished definitely is going to feel like it's going to want to go back into G. So listen to what happens when I play a 6/5 and then I play a minor 5 and then I play my 1, but you, when I go to my D minor, you go, or any variation of some diminished run. Don't overcomplicate it, have fun with it. Ready? First groove. C minor. Do you hear how they both work quite well together?
Yeah. Shit.
And the thing is, it doesn't even have to be the F sharp diminished run, because any diminish you do run, whole tone, half tone, they're all based off the same concept, so they're all relative musically to each other. And it's really interesting and weird and hard to explain, but the idea is there are three types of states of being that would have that, like, and it's just moves C and C sharp, and then it's variations of the whole tone steps done with that. But when doing a groove, if we were writing a tune and we were like, cool, it's a 4/5/4 minor 4/1. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Cool. C, D, C minor.
I'm not that fast though.
No, I get you, but the idea is it's the repetition, and the only way you can speak German or French or Spanish is if you speak.
You gotta do it exactly right. I understand. Yeah.
Donde
only way to learn how to play
el
drums is
biblioteca.
sit back there. Right. I got you.
Groovy. So, in extended jam, like, I would look back on this and be like, cool, we were playing like these three notes. What's interesting is when you can have something that's doing that, but you have a secondary line going on, like can you do like a C B C or 1 7 1 2 flat 2 2, dig it, do 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 do, anything you want there, just get that 5 in there, 4 in there. Different ways to form these inversions of chords to see which one sounds good tonally, which intonation is good that matches up high. I'd also be thinking about in the future, if we were to layer on a keyboard player, what notes I would want to avoid and not constantly have an overtone clash.
Right, I see you.
Cool. So I'm always thinking of, like, even in the simplest of things, how to not step on toes,
right,
and how to express myself but keep it core.
So what about so say it's just you right now, and you have a drum track and you have a simple bass just to keep you in wherever your position of the song with the chords.
Cool.
And you put the guitar on, and then you're not thinking about what are you gonna play.
Right.
And then you put your guitar on, and then you worry about he not stepping on you.
Yeah, and it's always a push and pull, yin yang, pulse. It's a positive negative. It's a polar exchange of, like, music ideas based off 7 notes, sometimes 12 notes. And then maybe some ditonal weird shit when it's going through bends and stuff like. As far as, like, the notes, like.
Would you worry about it like that, or you're gonna worry about it while you're making your part. To you know. What I'm
I
saying?
try to stay tonally within the chord structure of the key. So like, let's say we're playing a song and it had like a D minor. Rather than me getting weird and putting like a D minor, which is more of an open bass chord, it has a 1 flat 3 flat 7 and then a 3 again, and then I mute everything, so I get this really powerful D minor chord, much more than like just the D minor in any other place.
Yeah.
There are
It repeats the 3. So that,
yeah, so like I could do a run that would have like a D minor with a lower F sharp in it. I'm also, while I'm doing that, in this stage of my playing, guitar at least, not on bass so much.
Throw the air down, bro.
Yeah, freeze
now.
So he's boxing me out.
Here we go. 70. Let's try that.
But yeah, I am at this point thinking D minor and F major, relative major, relative minor. So when I'm hearing F major, shake my fingers.
Here.
1 tree, open 1.
I get hard with that with the fret.
Oh, the open? Yeah, with no headstock? Go throwing. So the way that I practice that through the circle fists is I look at it as how many sharps are in the key of C sharp.
7. There's
How
7.
many sharps are in the key of C?
0.
Cool. How many sharps are in the key of G?
1. F sharp.
Cool. G flat has 6 flats.
Right.
So when you keep going, how
It's
many?
like the reciprocal.
Yeah.
The
yin and yang.
negative. The negative.
Yeah, for sure. It shows me tonality, how not to vary too far away. Like when you can break the rules.
So you're saying C has
C,
0.
G, and F are gonna sound great together.
C has 0 and C sharp has 7. So you don't play C
Exactly.
sharp or the 7 of those.
Exactly. Watch what
What
would happen
the
with the what we're hold on.
what?
Watch what we're watching with it. So if we did
What
this,
sense?
if I did this, the idea is it does
that's
not
modulated,
sound
then.
right. You're right. It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound right, but it doesn't sound wrong because the context that's surrounding whatever that is or could be could have potential to be anything. It's just like energy, on off. It's going to be something if you make it something. So like having that C, D, C, C sharp. If that's your thing, you can do something called a hectatonic or an octatonic.
You replace that C every time.
You do, and you can replace that and just from
So this-
here, you've got a whole song which is going this, and it's just pretty, and you could have somebody singing like, and then the listener expects that for the A, and then it does the A
Yeah.
again, and then
Yeah.
that last time it goes.
I see what you're saying, man.
And it could go off to a completely different place, but you don't. It's not that you
slowly
don't.
going there, like
By
just
the
a
time
C,
you're
C,
2
the C sharp,
measures
C sharp,
into
C
this
sharp.
new thing, you completely forget about what you were just doing,
Right.
and it turns into something else.
Right.
But then it comes down to creativity. Is it meant to be? Can the other players or the instrumentation or the concepts or the motifs or the cadences or the phrasings, does it fit? Or is it just, are you just taking concepts and throwing it at something?
Yeah.
And that's really where playing it simpler becomes much easier to just
Right.
not.
Yeah. Right.
And most of great music or perceptively great music is just super simple.
It is. I agree with you.
You know?
I agree. That's why it all sounds the same, man.
What's the ugliest part of your body? All right, let's try another one of those drum tracks. You want to try a different one?
Oh man, hey, thanks for explaining that. That.
And it's just my perspective. I'm sure somebody else shares it. I'm sure somebody will be like, no, that's not how I feel about music at all. But when I'm trying to write something, or just let's say we're doing a standard progression in the key of G, 2-5-1, we'd have A minor, D major, G major, very jazzy. And then you get rid of the make them all dominants. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I messed up on my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. steady fun jam and not just have it be standard jazz, but you could have something that revolves around like sludge grunge or death metal rock, like a. You get that kind of feeling of heavy metal with a little distortion on, right? And have fun doing something like that, and then neoclassical it up. In the beginning of it has something like.
Ooh, that's
talking about earlier, exploring harmonic minor in the right places and writing melody lines that correspond, not being too busy, but having fun. See, this is why I hate using chords.
borrow? You plenty.
Sorry.
I have another lead wireless to borrow. Okay.
Yeah, throw on another backing track.
Yep,
See
yep.
if we
Let's
can
do it.
relate to it and have fun with it.
So when I'm doing new stuff, I go through as many combinations, whatever I think, and then I remember the things that sound good,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
then
you have the
I
nuggets.
save that, and then I go. Oh, there's another one to save that.
Do you practice my concept of the spider exercises?
I have-
It's not my concept. It's just
Right,
finger exercises.
I have been not much as it should be, but I've kind of been going.
When
through
you
some of
alter
them.
them, and you don't just do standard up the neck like linear minor seconds.
Yeah, like dirty.
Yeah, 1 4 2 3.
Oh,
1 4
yeah,
2 3,
right,
1
right,
4
right,
2
right.
3. If
4
you
1
could-
2 3 4 3 2.
If you could go through all of your frets, 4 of them times 6, you have 24 opportunities to do like 1 2 4 3, 1 2 3 4, 4 3 2 1. And when you could go through these and go,
anyhow, whatever. Yeah.
and you memorize 24 versions, if you can only memorize 8 of them, great. Then do the first 2 the same. 1 2 3 4, 2 3 4, 1 3 2 4,
Right,
1 3 2 4. And eventually you will get really good at where you put your fingers in real time. It's gibberish down here, but then you're never really right or wrong. You're just combining with
You're just
major scales.
Your muscle memory as good as it can ever.
And what
be.
happens is it tends to be your like walk-through notes, like Bebop Dorian. It tends to be the thing that you want to do that makes
Dorian, huh?
that makes stringed instruments fun. It gives you that poppy feeling.
Yeah,
So you know, you could learn like and turn that into. But it can also have fun. Nice follow. A flat. Right below. And then work up your 1, 2, 3, 1. And then up above it, a C sharp minor or C sharp major, down to F sharp, B, E, A to F. Again, Sandman, bring me a dream, make them the cutest that I've ever seen, give them 2 lips like crimson roses, and tell me that my lonely night is over. Cool.
I got it. Yeah.
Jazz standards. They
Right,
really
right.
take your playing to another level. Even if you don't like jazz or bossa nova,
I like.
Oh, cool.
I have a song. You never heard of New York Voices? You ever heard of that band? I don't know where they're from, but I have my guitar teacher in high school showed me this song. It's called "The Sultan Fainted." The Sultan Fainted, and it's
Send it to me.
Oh,
Let's
bro.
look.
So that bass line, I
I'll
learned this.
listen.
I learned the thing T from to the T, top to bottom,
Yes.
and I could play it once upon a time, but I can play a little bit of it now. But it's crazy.
And you know, there's certain levels of like, have you listened to any of the, do you listen to Dead? You ever listen to Dead? Do you know who Grateful Dead?
I heard of them. I can't tell you what song they sing though.
Cool. So they sing 3-chord, folky, country, rock and rolly amalgamation. There's been different members, different levels, different eras, different styles. Long story short, the sloppy stuff is super sloppy, and then the really tight stuff is super tight.
Same band.
Same band.
Why is that? Why, how,
Different writing styles, different ideas.
Or is it-
Good
they
amount
did
of
that on purpose?
drug use too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was the age, counterculture, but it kind of burnt out around the heavy stuff around the end of the '80s because the beatniks and the dropouts realized they'd rather have money than have an ideal society. No, it's only my only thing. But I would say that right now, 2025 is somewhat of the repercussion of the people who tried to be hippies and flowers and smoked the pot and
Yeah.
just had to get real. And then there's another counterculture that still is that. I would view myself as part of that latter, but not totally infused with it.
Right.
But here's a group. So the whole song, there's 3 songs. The first song has this like That's the main lick, so that's the motif. Right? And then that is the motif that guides the whole next song, the middle song. So they do 3 songs together. The first one's called Help on the Way. It's really pretty. It's like Paradise Waves on the crest of a wave in an age. It's F and C. And then it does a F, B flat, D. Whole step.
F, E flat, D.
Yeah. C. G, G, F, E flat. That's the groove for the bass. It's a little weird, but the idea is it follows the. It's a broken interval of a G major 7. Major 7, or actually C minor. Yeah, C minor broken interval. When it gets through with that song after doing making me too. That love in the game, it will never come true. Then it does it 3 times. It does this, it goes. Then it does a lick. And at this point, every Dead fan is elated, or whoever's playing it, because they know that they just did Help on the Way, this entire song called Slipknot, which is a great jam. And I don't have to play for it. You can listen to it on your own unless you want to see it. But it has these like.
That's the bass. The bass does that.
It's the bass and the guitar. The bass is a little easier. It's not as arpeggiated as the guitar, but it works through. Do you hear it? What kind of run that is?
I hear it. It's one of the modes.
It's a diminished run.
Oh.
Yeah, you can closely associate it to a Locrian, or you use the notes from Locrian.
Yeah, Locrian is is that the furthest?
Yeah, it's the 7. It's the one that causes a lot of tension. It's dark and mysterious. Modally, when you play like Lydian, what from that key, you get a raised 4th. And it sounds good. Our first time that we jammed, kind of with Paul, we did that. I was doing D major, and then C Lydian. Isn't that a great note? It just fits in. It's like chocolate on s'mores. So fun.
It's like Egyptian-y or
yeah.
Indian-y.
I mean, even if you feel it as being exotic, even natural minor going to a harmonic minor is super exotic. I used to call that the Egyptian mode.
That's
how I felt about
Egyptian.
it.
Yeah.
But when you hear like Phrygian too, it still has that
that
half step starting.
Yeah. Yeah,
So those are really keen. So if you can hear like Lydian is the happiest of all the modes. It's like
yeah.
British. No, that's the wrong way to say it. It's colonial.
Colonial.
It's
yeah.
westward expansion. No, I'm just joking. When you go to Ionian, it drops the fourth back. That's the second most light mode. After that, you would go to Mixolydian. Flat 7. That's what we use for our dominant chords. Like. That's the chord that makes it all. D.
Wait,
Don't tell you? No?
yeah, don't tell me.
Cool. If we were in a key, I would do like this then. It's the 5 of G.
Or let me. Is it okay if I try to hear it first?
Yeah. I won't
I'll try
throw out
match
names
it.
unless you ask for tonal notes.
If I ask you, yes, then.
If asked, absolutely. If you ask, can I throw a question at you and answer it like a guru?
I would try to.
Like
yeah,
a sage?
yeah.
When you ask me a practical question, I will give you a response which is kind of ethereal. And when you ask me like a question ethereal about why, I'll give you a very practical.
I got you.
It's how-
See, okay, I
it's
see, I see.
yin and yang.
Right. No, I like that.
But
That's
yeah, I'll
cool.
be like, hey, that's the 5th of G. Another thing, I mean, we can't even get into the RAM. All of the things we try to write songs, we already tried one. We picked the key, and then we picked the tempo, and we tried to go at it and wrote something. We also tried to listen to a song, put it in a different key, the progression, change a couple chords around, and see if it resembled the original song.
Yeah.
We did that twice, I think, or something, and that
I
was
remember
okay.
there's the 4 different ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me.
And it's not just, this isn't something that everybody does, but I'm sure that some artists sit down and they hear like, girl, you look funny and I just can't stand the pain. I'm leaving here tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
Play some Lionel Richie, some changes the word girls like Jesus or
I
whatever.
think they do
Oh,
that.
absolutely. But when you analyze music, there's no reason to steal. You just start emulating artists. And you know, if you write a song, it's like, you're gonna be like, come on, guy. But if you're like, hey, it's the same concept.
It is. If you just tap the whole thing hard,
Right.
it's all the same.
Yeah. And you know, whoa! You know what I'm talking about? Collective Soul. Baby, let your light shine.
I know that I heard that before.
Hey, that's the song. They're like, whoa! Baby, let your light shine now. Anywho, the 90s.
I heard that song. When I try to make up stuff, I don't want any influence in my ears. When I'm, like if it's a bass line, I want the percussion and I want the drums. I don't want no bass line in there at all.
Yeah.
Zero. I don't want lyrics, nothing. That's all I want is just this and this, piano and that.
I'm
it's
trying not to
something.
write stuff that's too complicated outside the box, but I still have a tendency to write what I feel. Actually, I wrote something. You want to see it?
I'd love to.
It's really weird. I don't know where it should go,
yeah,
but
sure.
how would I do this or explain it? How about we just play it?
God, that's sick.
I was digging around chords and I was like, oh,
That's-
I love
that's
that.
cool, that's cool.
That
That is fucking sick ass shit.
And
Yeah,
you
what
can
the
have
fuck?
space all day long.
Yeah,
It's
boom,
just-
camp. Yeah.
These are those diminished chords. Yeah. I mean, we can find tonal notes that work, but what I'm really hoping is that I can lay down a groove, throw this thing on here, and be like. And go to what? I haven't worked on a second part. What do you think?
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I think I can go with something.
I don't know what tempo it should be.
Wow.
You know.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
My bad, too. And I like doing these kind of sessions because it allows us to kind of like pluck around the chords. There's nothing better than coming up with like a new groove and like doing it slow, doing it fast, and you know, I know having a third or a fourth person here with interjection also is good. But then being able to go home, just chart that out and have a basic theme, and then if you dig on it and you resonate with it, show me what you you're like, what was the name of that thing? But like, give it a silly, stupid name every time we do this. So like, the Fly Song or
Freezing cold.
the Kula.
I mean, you can probably didn't record it. You can just put a mic by yourself.
I mean, I know this one now. I've been working on it for.
Oh, okay, cool.
I haven't written anything because I want to stay fresh for just us and doing this. And in the last year and a half, I wrote about 3,000 songs. Not one of them, you know, I've gotten on, but I chart at us and see what it turns into, kind of thing. They all have silly names and they all have central themes. There's a practice on like picking keys. Doing what I'd like to do in a band. Picking key, figuring out a way to write a song using a mode or using a concept or using a progression. Trying to write melodies first and then put chords to it. Trying to put chords and then write melodies to it. I've tried it
I
every
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I've tried every which way of cutting up the quarter. It's still a quarter.
Right. I see. I started
Yeah.
this. Started on 1. Started at 3. Started at
Yeah.
5, 6, everything. Whatever. Started.
And frankly, this might break the brain, but there are only 7 notes. If you're playing diatonically and you have this chord, the reason why when you have a natural minor, when you have something like the chords A minor, you would go directly from here to your B diminished.
Trade to A minor to
A minor, B diminished, to a C major, to a D minor, E minor, F major,
You're retarded, man. I
G
swear.
major.
God.
Well, hold on, these are just the 7.
I know. I'm just like you're just like watch. You're like
Okay,
automatic.
I'll
It's
slow
like
down,
boom,
okay.
boom, boom,
A
boom.
minor.
No, you have to. Just,
B diminished or B full, I like C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. So when you add back that G sharp from the key of A major, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, that now A minor, any chord that had a G in it, like A minor has A, C, and E. And then it goes to B, D, and F sharp. But now we have C, E, and G. It's no longer C major, it's C augmented. And listen to just that
because the B
spice.
diminished and the A minor makes
Yeah,
that.
B diminished. If you now listen to this chord. A little flat. It goes to an E major rather than an E minor. So rather than having A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major,
What
G
the
major.
fuck? I
You
see
have
what you're
your.
saying.
You now have your.
You see, like they swapped it, so it goes
You
to
did.
the minor or the major. It said.
That half step, that tonal jump, changes all the distances between C and then the diminished. So what we have is like that G sharp there totally changes the way that the G sharp and the B react to each other, or the C sharp, the G sharp and the C sharp react to each other. Does that make sense? So there's only 7 notes, and when you add one note that's not inside those 7, you're augmenting it or
From then
diminishing
on,
it.
yeah, it's all.
From then on, you then have it in the chords, so that's kind of what you can use. You don't have to use the whole progression, but you can clearly hear a progression that's like, right? Rather than, I'm super out of tune. You got that tune?
Yeah. Here. Let me go on. Use bathroom real quick. That's cool.
Cool.
Man, you
So the idea is if we play something and we're like, cool, this is very minory, let's add some spice to it. The first thought is, how do we either play with the G sharp in there, in the key of A minor, and influence it? And a lot of times it's just used as a leading or lending tone.
we gotta come here and look at it though.
Okay. Onto which, when you play it, it'll it leads back to your root or back to the relative minor. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll be back.
Shoot.
You want something to eat again?
I'm good.
Sure. Shake. Do you want it?
I'm good, yeah.
I'm gonna grab a quick plate if that's cool with you.
Cool.
Thanks. Feel free to just hit the drums or whatever, man.
Okey doke. Son, you're out of tune. Turn my head around. Is anybody hanging out and watching? Who knows what we're up to these days? So, just hanging out over my buddy's house. I've been teaching his daughter piano for about 1.5 years now, maybe 2 years. And we decided to move lessons over to their house. And he
is a great player, as you can see, and I'm enjoying this very much. If you enjoy playing music, tell me what kind of band you're in. What have you been playing? These kind of hangouts we generally have a drummer. We're going to try a little drum machine, see what happens there. And the idea is to get more comfortable playing together, working on different concepts like understanding a little bit of music theory, circle of fifths, and then writing songs based off of those concepts. There really is no rhyme or reason to this right now. Just absolutely having fun, and I hope you have fun too here. Aloha.
Right on the chair, okay?
Shit.
Yeah, I'm always just, bro. Just can play just the drum track, slow them down, speed them up, can play the chords, can transpose the chord progression.
Yeah, multitudes, and then like being able to like jump through different chord progressions, play, and also, you know, I like playing out as well. And if you want to do the play out thing, it'd
What
be
does that mean?
just, you know, pick a silly gig with some other band, go play,
Gotcha.
have fun.
You have a chair?
Oh, that's not good.
How well?
Just have fun going through songs, and my favorite thing about like being in the South and playing was like everybody was just sitting around and laughing, having a good time. You know what I mean?
While playing?
Yeah. Invite members up from other bands that share the stage with you, have fun with them. It's not really about hitting the right notes, it's about having fun inside the system. You know, letting another drummer from another band play with your band and try to figure it out while you're doing it. It's
Right.
funny.
I know what you're saying.
It's fun. Audience participation to a point.
Over here, it's hard to do that because there's only a handful of people that play.
Well, as I was alluding to earlier, write stuff that's a little bit more open, so we're able to like have players that are like saxophone players.
I know there's a horn players, but they're busy. But they're the only ones.
The idea is if it's going to be worth your time to come out and play with a band, the core 3 or 4 should be really tight, be able to play many different genres, and be able to play songs on the fly like requests.
That's hard.
It is, but
I'm down to try it.
the idea is if you don't know that song and you know a couple, you can get through it. So I can tell you that out of all the gigs I've ever played, people always ask for the same songs. Very rarely do you get somebody who says, you get 3 types of people. Somebody's like, oh, play whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You guys are doing a great job. They get it. Another person is the kind of person that tries to stump you. They're like, oh, can you play Dragon Blood by Queen Scream? Or just, you know, it's like, no, buddy, it's a 3-piece. And then the other one is what I thrive on. Somebody who likes a band like Chicago is like, hey, can you play Beginnings? And we're like, we don't know that song, but we know like,
Right.
we know Long Train Running. They're like, yeah!
Okay.
And then as a band, you go and learn their request.
Oh shit.
So by the time that you play your venues and you see the same 5, 10, 15, 20 people and you play that song, that night is the happiest night for that person.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember them, man.
You remember them, you remember the song, you remember the venue, the gig, and more importantly, every band I've ever been in that's able to do that, you remember the time you spend with individuals learning how to play and singing in harmony, and it becomes more like meditation and communal than it is I'm just playing an instrument in a band for a gig. Which is why I don't really I don't put too much stock. I mean, I do put stock into gigs, you know what I mean? But I've played so many of them and filled in, it's not,
Stock meaning what?
huh?
Stock meaning what does that mean?
What?
Stock?
Stock?
What did you just say?
Oh, don't put, like a stock. Money? It's a colloquialism. I don't put too much stock, like, I don't, how do I explain this? There's more important things to do in
Is
the
that an
life.
analogy?
Yeah, it's like a analogy, colloquialism. Like, don't count your
I see what
chickens
you're saying.
before they hatch.
Right. I see what you're saying.
It's a
Put all
gig.
your effort into one thing, right?
Yeah. I put the effort into learning how to play an instrument and have fun. I don't want to go to practice with you at your house that's 2.5 hours away 4 times a week. I just want us to book a gig, get together one time before that to know if we got it. And then if not, gracefully decline or get a player who can that carries the weight. And that's why you pay musicians to carry the weight of the band until you're good enough to say, hey, come out if you want, but we'll be here. If they do, awesome, you pay them. If not, it's just a gig, and you get better every time you play that song. And the way that you get better is by communicating better off stage and communicating musically.
I agree.
You don't say the thing with the thing where we're like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I agree with that.
You say the song in A major that's named blah 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 that has the breakdown at measure 32 where we all do a melodic minor run. And
the riff goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and you're like, oh, cool.
You're right. The time off stage makes you together better together.
It does.
I heard me and Paul do. We're over here, just me and him. And he you want a napkin?
Oh, no, I'm good. You know what? We don't need to be live. Let me kill this nonsense.
Hey, anybody who's still watching this, go to bed. Not to tell you what you do. Do whatever you want. Thanks for tuning in with us today. The reason why we record this is one, so we can keep track of what we're doing, and we can go back in here and find the nuggets, have fun with it, and maybe write a little something from this. Also, it's a learning experience.